Aloha and welcome to another Roland MC-707 tutorial. I am Unit E, and in this video I'm going to show you a great new trick I found, and that is to play the four partials of a tone track in either a random order or in a cyclic order, running through the four different partials in cycle. This is easy to set up once you know how, and I'm going to show you how. So let's get into it. First of all, I have a tone track, and in this tone track on a clip, I have a tone that I have created by loading samples onto the four partials. It sounds like this when all of them play. That is all four partials together. We can look at this by pressing Shift and Sound on that track. In here, we can see we're in our tone edit screen. Now here are your four oscillators or four partials that I'm talking about. You have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Within these four, you can simply load in any kind of course, virtual analog oscillator or a sample, and that is what I did. I have one internal and 3 imported samples in here. Okay. Once you have your four oscillators loaded with sounds, go into your control section here and hit enter. Once you're in here, press your cursor right arrow to go through the tabs until you get to partial range. This is the first stop to make some settings so each partial is in a different velocity range. Now quickly, velocity goes from 1 to 127, and we want to break this into four sections, which is roughly 32 or 32, I think, or so. So that means partial 1, let's use C3, you can scroll or use your cursor arrow, but we're going to go up to PMT1, which is our partial 1. We're going to look for velocity range lower and upper right here. I have mine set to lower of 1 and upper of 32. This is in partial 1. Scroll down to partial 2's velocity range lower and upper. You'll see the range right here. I have 33 to 65. Going down to 3, I have 66 to 98. And then partial 4 is 99 to 127, rounding out the full range of velocity among the four. Now, if you were to play this in velocity control mode and velocity control was on, then the softer velocity would indeed play the one oscillator that you have in that range, and as you hit it harder, it would play different oscillators. We kind of knew that was in there, but here's something I just found out. Up here on the tab, once we get up there on partial range, we can go ahead and push left and go to partial control, PTL, CTRL, and the first thing we see is velocity control. Now this is off or on generally, which on means if I go soft, you'll get one sound, and if I hit harder, you get another sound. That could be a fun way to play these sounds, but also if you scroll again, there is random, and then again there is cycle. Cycle, now when I hit it each time, it doesn't matter velocity. We simply put them in velocity ranges to separate them. It is needed for the machine to recognize the difference between them and play them in a cycle or random format. So don't forget to do that. Now let's listen to my four partials separately. 1, here's 2, more pad, and then this effects loop. And then that kind of bell sound coming in. That one. Those are my four sounds. Now every time I hit it, it's in the same cycle. Right. Now, if I go to random, when I hit the same note, I could get the same partial a couple times in a row. Now remember, these partials are oscillators or different sounds you have put together, the four of them. So with random in mind, you can also choose a level curve if you want it more linear, if you are doing the velocity sensitivity, but that doesn't matter for random or cycle. But you do have to make sure all your partial switches are on. Now by default they are on, so you don't have to really change that, but make sure they are. That's all you do in the menu there. Now they're going to play in a random format for me. Every time I hit it, one of the oscillators or partials will randomly play. The fun thing to do now, and I'll show you a fun trick at the end here for hanging out till the end of the video. If you hit shift and note, you could get into your arpeggiation settings or arpeggio settings, right? Turn it on and off. You could have your scales for all your pads. We know about some of that stuff. But let's go to the end here for our ARP settings. I just have a motif of up with a quarter note variation and a +2 octave. And I got hold on so I don't have to hang on to it so you can see what's going on. If I hold funk and hit notepad mode, I can turn my ARP on. And now I can just hit a C major chord. And this will play in an ARP that goes through a couple octaves and randomly picks one oscillator to play each note. Just like generative ambient music here, right? Just like that. Now if you record that ARP into your MIDI sequencer, it is recording just the notes. It's not going to hold on to what oscillator or partial played on that note. So every time it runs through the same notes, you will get a different oscillator or partial being played for that. So it can create kind of a nice generative style of music. I hope you found this useful. Hit that thumbs up, spread the word. Also, click subscribe to help support what I'm doing and show me that you really like what I'm doing. And if you ring that bell, I'll even send you a notification when something new comes out. And once again, my name is Unit E, and thanks for watching.